This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brookes Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brookes Blooms' three-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space. G'day everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Ads and Dunks podcast. As always, brought to you by the American Aces and our wonderful sponsor, Brookes Blooms. We love Brooke. My name is Adsy, of course, and with me, as always, my best mate, Joshy Dunkley. How you going, mate?
I'm good, mate. Pumped to be here. It's a huge week for both of us, and we're just really excited about what's to come, and obviously a big final series and everything else off field as well. So great to be here, mate.
It is great to be here, and we've had a little bit more success than what we did last week. I think we were 5 minutes in or 10 minutes into trying to solve my my dumbness, if you want to call it, and we started another 45 minutes later. So it's been a nice tick to start the episode. Don't you agree?
Yeah, or maybe it's just your technical skills, mate. As soon as you take anything apart and put it back together, we're always in trouble. So just leave it as is and we'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. How's your week been, mate? No footy, obviously. Nice little week off for us both. Fill us in on what you got up to.
That was a good week. It was a good week. It's been a nice little relax. A couple of days off. So we trained day on, day off last week. Since we spoke, it was Tuesday night. So we trained Thursday and Saturday following that. And yeah, both really good sessions. The weather's been ridiculously hot up here. So it's been nice to be out by the pool, getting some colour, mate. As you can probably tell, probably a little bit sunburnt. But nice to be out and about for a couple of days and chilling out, getting the body right, ready for a big couple of weeks ahead. Yeah,
as I said a couple of episodes ago, I reckon I said you can tell when you've had a bit of sun because you get the redness around your eyes. But it's not only your eyes at the moment; it's your face. But I got no doubt you're being sun smart as the pro that you are. You're definitely being sun smart. Rocking the Speedos, of course. You'd be rocking the Speedos, yeah?
Well, in my own backyard, yes. Definitely rocking the Speedos.
If I look like you, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame you, sorry. I mean, have a look at you. Have a bloody look at you. But, no, that sounds good, mate. What'd you get up to on the weekend? Was it? Oh, actually, you watched the footy. You watched the VFL game that your boys, the Brisbane Lions Reserves, and our Footscray boys played in, and it was an absolute ripping game. Probably one of the best games of footy in general that I've watched this year, not only just because it was our sides, but it was an unbelievable game. You would have tuned into that as well.
Yeah, it was a really good watch. Obviously disappointing in the end for us, but I reckon either way, we were on the phone today talking about it. Either way, it would have been a ripping win for either team. So you boys obviously got the chocolates on the day, but it was a game that you sit back and you watch and you're like, there was no real standouts apart from probably Harmsy, who played a ripping game. But like such even contribution. Everyone had their moments on either side of the fence. And unfortunately we went down by a couple of points in the end. But you boys would have been pumped with that win and getting your twos into the prelim, I think, now at home. So that's a huge result.
Yeah, it was. And it's funny because I actually felt like I genuinely thought there was like 4 game winners. Like I thought, it's over after this. I think that might have gone, we kicked the goal. I think Brooke kicked the goal from the boundary line. Then your boys kicked the goal. Then we kicked another goal. And then you guys, I think, kicked the goal. And that was when it was like we got the center clearance. You boys won it back. And it was like, oh, we're not going to win this. And then somehow it just fell our way. There's a downfield free kick. And obviously Ryan Gardner, who is, for people out there who've watched a lot of Bulldogs footy, know that he's typically a defender and he spent quite a bit of time up forward. For him to kick the clutch goal that he did, mate, it was unreal. And it was awesome scenes as well in the change room because, as you said, it was one of the great wins. It would have been a great win for either club, and fortunately we were on the receiving end of that. But I think it was really nice and rewarding for the boys who were toiling away there in the twos but are still vying for obviously a chance to, whether it's play, in the AFL side or potentially have a deep VFL run. It's nice to play meaningful games, and it was an unbelievable win. And I reckon you probably would have felt the same with the boys for your lads that are out there who were pushing for whether it's an AFL spot or, semi-final for them next week and hopefully further in the VFL. So it was a really good game. But, mate, other than that, there wasn't much that I really did throughout the week. I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been playing a lot of Sudoku, however you want to pronounce it. Sudoku.com. I never thought I'd get into this, but I find myself probably spending an hour on it every day. I love it, mate. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. Doesn't surprise me that you've gone and found something and now you're just addicted to it. No, it doesn't.
The addiction part, of course. I am. I do get addicted to things. I'll tell you what I did see today, actually. Kimmy showed me. It was really cool. Kim and I did one. So Charlie was filming. So what we did, right, it's this TikTok trend that I think it's a trend because I'm not on TikTok, but what it is someone films two people who, whether you're best mates or partners. So what I'm saying, for an example, it could be you and I doing this, is someone comes and films you, right? They're filming you and they ask you, what's your favorite number? You'll answer, then they'll ask you, what is Adam's favorite number? And then they'll go to me, they'll film me. Do you know what I mean? And then you do like 5, 6, 7 questions.
Yeah.
So we did one today, Kim and I, and then we did a hilarious one with Georgie. So we got Charlie to film Georgie. Georgie answered like 6 questions and then he came out and filmed both Kim and I. And it was funny as, mate. But I think you and I should do one. You and I need to do a TikTok where we do that.
Yeah, maybe we should start up our own TikTok page, mate, and post a couple of videos on there.
Maybe we should. I mean, I'm not on TikTok, and the only time I see them is when memes get sent to me, but it would be pretty cool. I reckon we'd have a lot of fans on that.
100% we would. Hey, before we move on, you said you got up to nothing last week, and rude of me not to mention it off the top, but all Australian mates, congratulations from everyone here on the potty. Obviously myself, I messaged you over the few days and didn't want to bug you too much because I knew how much support you'd be getting, but it's a massive achievement, mate. You should be very proud of yourself. I know I said, all the words last week about making the squad, but deep down it means a lot to I feel like I'm a part of it. I'm not a part of it, but I just feel like I'm a part of your journey, mate. So very proud of you, and I know everyone else that's close to you would be the same. So well done. Just wanted to give you the hats off, mate, and congratulations because you deserve all the recognition you get. It's been a long time coming, and very pumped for you.
Thank you. That's why I appreciate that, but that's why I said I didn't get up too much because I was hoping you didn't bring it up. I was trying to make you lose thought within your mind because I could see you thinking via the camera. I can still see you thinking, and but I appreciate it, mate. It was obviously a pretty cool night. I never thought I'd ever be an All-Australian. There was probably aspirations when I was younger, obviously, and you think about that stuff. But it's funny when you don't think about it, and not once did it really cross my mind. It's only really whenever people mention it to me, but never did it cross my mind. And then when it did, I never thought I'd actually make it. So it's pretty cool. I mean, again, it's something that I'll cherish when I'm done, and look back on and be proud that I was able to, be in an All-Australian side, which is, as I said, very, very cool. But I'm grateful for the support, mate. I've had so many people support me, so many people reach out. I did I did some media stuff yesterday for just for the the finals week and whatnot. And one of the interviewers who was talking to me about just about the All-Australian and mentioned, I was probably the unanimous favourite pick. Most people were picking me and sending me in just for support. And when he said that, it meant a lot to me. I mean, a lot of these people have no idea about me, and they're, sending their support in for me to be in the All-Australian team, which is really cool. I mean, it's something that I'm, again, grateful for. So I appreciate it, mate. I do appreciate it. And I love you for the support that you give me. So thank you.
Well done, mate. Anything else? I've actually got one, on Saturday night after the VFL. Watch the VFL. I went down to the River Fire for the first time in Brisbane. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the River Fire?
I've seen but I've seen the stories that you put on socials. I wonder what that was. Yeah. What is it?
So it's like they do a big fireworks display. It goes for like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. So essentially it's called the River Fire because it's like the river's on fire. So it's all along the river. So you go and get your spot, and we went out for dinner and then watched it after that. But also they have the army planes, like the big planes come through and do a little air display. So all week they've been practicing. So they fly over here, fly over our house, and it's just so loud. Like
Unreal.
It's unbelievable, mate. And they just hammer. Like it's crazy. So that was pretty cool. I've never actually been there and watched it, so it was nice to get down there and watch that too.
And Brisbane would have been putting on elite weather as always. I actually did see something as well. They've opened the casino now at Brisbane, haven't they? Officially opened it?
They have. That was going to be my bloom of the week, mate.
Oh no. I've just ruined the bloom of the week. Wait, hey, mate, we may as well just quickly do it. Well, not quickly. We love the bloom of the week. We may as well do it now. There's no
Sounds good.
There's no real set script that we follow. So give us your bloom of the week, mate.
No, well, bloom of the week is the Star in Brisbane because Tipper and I went to Sokio. I think that's how you pronounce it, the restaurant there on Sunday night. Yep. So when I found out it was going to be opening, I was like, I want to be one of the first ones to go to the restaurant. So I took Tipper there on Sunday and, mate, they did this A5 Wagyu, which is what I put on my story, which had that little gold thing on top. Did you see that?
I did see that, yes.
Mate, it was probably the best thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Really? Why?
Not even joking. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Really? Far out.
Yeah.
Why was it? Tell us why. Because you're a food connoisseur. I know you love your food.
Flavor, the way it was cooked, like it wasn't overcooked, it wasn't undercooked, it was just perfect. And then the way it was presented and it was just unbelievable, mate. It was one of the best things I've ever tasted in my life. I've told that many people that and all the boys want to go there now, so that's good.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that you've gone there and had that, and I need to go there now. When I'm up there in Brisbane, I can't wait. Actually, I didn't ask you, how much did it cost you? It would have cost a fortune.
It costs, well, we had a bit of food. It cost it was about 150 each, I would say. Not too bad. Not bad. Like that's not bad. That's a nice restaurant night out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Well, mate,
it's not something you do all the time, but yeah, it was good.
Well, hopefully, if one of us win the premiership this year, that can be the
celebratory.
That can be the little celebratory dinner that we go to. And I know Kim, it'd be right up Kim's alley. She loves that kind of food as well. Well, that's cool. That's cool, mate. I love that we're talking about food on this podcast because you are a food connoisseur, as I say.
Yeah, I know. And you love talking about food and watching people eat food, by the way, for those that don't know. We did the full experience. So we parked on the south side of the river and walked across. There's a new bridge that they've built to join up to the casino. Yep. So we walked right across, walked into the casino, through the hotel area and just got to see everything. So it was quite cool. I actually really enjoyed it. Made a bit of a fuss about it with Tipper, so it was good.
I love that. Is the casino the similar setup to the one in Melbourne, right? It's got it's the same essentially.
I didn't actually go in. We didn't go into the casino part. We sort of walked through the hotel part, and then the restaurant was right there. So I didn't get to see the casino inside setup, but very similar. I mean, they're all similar, the casinos.
If you're a casino, actually, when you're at the casino, if you're playing on a table, what are you playing?
I don't know. I barely been. I'd probably just play blackjack. Yes. There's a game that what's that one that you put on the number or the black or the red or whatever it's called?
Roulette.
Yeah. I've done that before, but yeah, I couldn't tell you, mate. I got no idea.
I don't know how to play poker. I don't know how to play any of those games, so I'd be the same. I'd play roulette or I would play blackjack. But I just don't go to the casino at all. Anyway, I thought it would be a nice little question to ask. But anyway, I like your Brookes Bloom of the week. I've got a ripper. Yeah. I've got a ripper. I had two, and I'm going to give a bit of, just because there's no footy to debrief from this round, we can spend a little bit of time talking about other shit. I've got two blooms of the week. My first one is Alexi Popyrin, the Aussie tennis boy. You see how he beat? I know he got eliminated in he lost to Tafo, I believe. Let me just see. Yes, he did. So I know he lost in the round of 16 to Francis Tafo, but our Aussie, he beat Novak Djokovic in the third round at the US Open, which I thought was an incredible achievement. I mean, Novak is fresh off winning gold medal at the Olympics. absolute superstar. So I felt like that was a really, really big win. He was going to initially be my Bloom of the Week, but I've changed it to this. You talk about TikTok, right? I had this sent to me because this is all the boys have seen this at the club. There's this guy on TikTok. His name is at Mark Anderson 8. He's an artist. He has $1.1 million, 1.1 million followers. And what he does, right, is you need to see, he just sits there and sings. So, like, you can just see him there. He literally just sits there and he sings. He's got a really, really loud, high-pitched voice. Anyway, because of our Triple H segment last week, I came across him getting sent to me singing the Triple H theme song.
Oh.
How's the laugh on him?
Oh, jeez.
So Mark Anderson 8. He's my Brookes Bloom of the Week because the Triple H segment last week. Apparently, no one knew who Triple H is, but we've got this viral sensation singing Triple H theme song. So here's my Bloom of the Week, mate.
Not
what
bad.
Do you reckon?
Not bad. Nah, that's shit house, mate.
I know Braden is pissing himself right now in his chair. I know that is freaking hilarious. Oh, shit, we are funny. Oh, well, we may as well get into a bit of footy. What do you reckon?
Oh, we can. Yeah, what footy have you got for me this week, mate? We got a week off.
Nah, we'll preview the round, mate. There's a big finals round. Obviously, we're both in it. We may as well get stuck into it. We'll talk about our games at the end, but we'll talk about the other two first. So, obviously, the first game Thursday night. I'm still laughing at that. That is so good. I need to send you the clip. Oh, shit, that's funny. Thursday night, Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide versus Geelong in the first qualifying final. You give us a rundown because I'm just going to keep laughing.
Oh, I think it's going to be a very good game, this one. It's, the Cats they'd be outsiders, but I reckon that they're going to be pretty good because they love going to Adelaide Oval and putting on a show, and Port are in really good form. So I think both teams will be raring to go and get at it. But I don't know. This is a hard one to tip because I've been like, Port at home. But Geelong, if Geelong get their brand going, they can control the game really well. And I just think Port may struggle with that. So I'm going to tip Geelong to win this and get a home prelim.
It's a big one because obviously if we were to win, we would play the loser out of this side. Out of this game, sorry. So it is a hard one. I agree with everything you say because Geelong travel to Adelaide and play Adelaide very well. And if they can get their game going with, the way they like to kick mark and, really control territory in games, like they're a very hard team to beat. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what their record is the last 8 to 10 weeks, Port Adelaide, but I feel like they've played some really good footy, like away from home as well. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, the fact that they're playing good at home, but they're playing even better away from home. And I feel like the momentum they've got going into this and off the back of, they're going to obviously want to go better than what they've done previously. I think they've been in prelims and semi-finals like the last I can't even think of the last time Port didn't make a deep run in the finals. So, I feel like this is a great opportunity for them to obviously win their way through to a prelim final and give themselves a great chance to make the granny. So I think Port Adelaide will be too strong. I think it's going to be a close game, really close. I reckon if the trio of Butters, Horn Francis, Rosie, and then throw in Wines and Drew, if they can get on top, then they'll be hard to beat, very, very hard to beat. But if Geelong can nullify them, which is probably the obvious statement of all time, but if Geelong can nullify them, then it'll go a long way to them winning as well. So, but I do think Port.
I like it. Next game is yours Friday night, and then it's ours Saturday night. So the other one's the Swans, the Battle of the Bridge in Sydney. Another another good game. Like, geez, when you're talking about two of the probably better informed teams across the whole year, they've been quite good outside of the Giants, obviously losing to you boys last week. But, similar sort of theme. I feel like both teams are going to be very keen for this battle, but I don't know. I've got a feeling that the Giants, after last week's disappointment, are going to get the Swans and roll them.
Yeah, mate, I have the same feeling. I know it's a whole new ball game when it comes to finals. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Sydney's back half to the year, but you can't underestimate how well they've gone. Obviously, the first half. I mean, they were undefeated, weren't they? They lost in round 4, but they'd only lost one game for like the first 13, and that obviously speaks volumes. I think they had some players go out with injury, obviously had some form issues, but I think they get Tom Papley back, who is a massive in for them. He's a very, very good player and sorely missed when he's not playing. So I think this game will be a ripper, but agreeing with what you're saying, I've just spoken about Sydney. On the other hand, we obviously played the Giants and played very well against them. But prior to that, they've played some really, really good footy. And, when they run in waves, as they mentioned, the Orange Tsunami, and they get their run game going, they're so hard to beat. And I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring game, this one. SCG kind of suits both of them. Who do I think is going to win? I'm with you. I think the Giants will too. Yeah, I'm going to go the Giants. And remember in 2016 when you boys beat them in the prelim, this is how they played Sydney in that first final and won their way through to that prelim. So it could be a similar setup. So I'm going to back the Giants, but I reckon it's going to be a high-scoring, close game as well.
Another cracking game. We'll go into yours Friday night first, so you can give us a bit of a debrief on that. Firstly, are you going to be playing? Are you going to be right or what?
I love how you just asked me because I know you don't doubt me, mate. No, I'll be good. I've got main session tomorrow, but just got to get through that and then get the tick of approval, and I'm very confident. Very, very confident. I just wanted to avoid the week of pre-season training that we had in between the bye, so I had to come up with something.
The standard.
Hey, I work hard, mate, in the off-season when I'm watching the NFL. But anyway, Bulldogs.
Riding a bike.
Yeah, Bulldogs Hawthorn. I actually want to say something on behalf of us both. Did you see that video that Brado sent us about our prediction on Hawthorn?
I did, yep.
We essentially said this time last year, the brand that they play is a great brand of footy that is going to be very, very good and very sustainable. And we both reckon they'll play finals footy this year. And you probably would have been laughing at us if it would come round 6 when they were 0-5. But, geez, were we right? And they are the informed team of the comp, which is something I'm proud of. So there's 3 predictions, mate. We've gone – we went Carlton last year when they were getting booed, made the finals. We went Port Adelaide this year when they were booing Ken Hinkley. And now they're probably the favourite. I reckon they would be arguably the favourite for the premiership. And then Hawthorn. Mate, I feel like we're smart men when we come up with this. I really like it. I wonder if Brado can come up with something in this next 20 minutes before we get him on about something that we may have predicted that we got horribly wrong. Maybe my tipping just in general, but see if we got anything horribly wrong. But anyway, it's pretty cool that we can have that. We know our footy, but our game, we've obviously got the Hawks Friday night, MCG, the only game in Melbourne. As I just said, Hawthorn probably the informed team of the comp, playing an unbelievable brand of footy. Very, very good. Very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? I think it finals footy like their footy stacks up in finals footy. And it's going to be, a great challenge for us, something that we're so looking forward to. I love the fact, I've said this to you, but I love the fact that we're coming up against Hawthorn because obviously there's a lot of talk about how well they're going. And I love that we have to beat the best to obviously ultimately win. So it's a great challenge for us. And the fact that we get to play Friday night in front of the big lights, big crowd, we're really excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be a huge one to watch. Both teams, I think could win it. Like the Hawks have, I think there's been some talk about them not playing many night games or Friday night games or whatever it is. It does not matter. It does not matter. Come finals, like everything's thrown out the window, and you can talk about in form, out of form. Everyone's going to be at their best for finals. So I feel like both teams are going to be thereabouts, and it's going to be a close game. How do you feel they got you last time? Because I know they beat you earlier on in the season. And will you do anything in regards to that? Like, is there things that you look at and you're like, oh, we probably didn't, allow them to break too many tackles or whatever it might be?
Yeah, well, you were definitely had a look. That was obviously, I think, round 7. So they'd only won one game at that stage and were still trying to find their feet. But even then, I was still extremely impressed by how they went about it and was fully confident that they would get the ball rolling and ultimately be where they are. Thinking back to that game, we started really well. I think we kicked the first 3 real early and we looked really ominous for us. But as you mentioned just then, breaking tackles, their contest around the ball, their transition footy, they just got a hold of us throughout that game. And, we got back within – I think we actually hit the lead with about 5 or 6 minutes ago, and then they overran us again and ultimately beat us by about 10 points or 6 points, I think it was. But it's what you just said, their strengths. So we let that happen in a way. We just weren't good enough to stop it. Their ability to win, contest the ball, but then get it out to their runners and really use their legs and get that handball chain going, get their runner numbers going. We couldn't stop that. And watching them their past 10, 11 weeks, that's what they're really, really good at. And, I mentioned the contested ball. I think 2 of the most underrated players in the comp who we don't hear a lot about, but, I rate extremely high and we rate internally, obviously, James Warple and John Newcomb, who I think, one of the, probably, right up there as the best 1-2 punch in the comp, who lead that charge. Their contest is unreal. Their ability to get out and use their runners like D'Ambrosio, and when Will Day plays, obviously Day isn't playing, but get it to Carl Amon, Jarman Impey, these guys who can really use their legs. We just allowed that too much, and we just can't allow that this week. So we obviously know what they're going to want to bring. We just can't allow that, and especially with the big open space of the MCG, we know that that's probably what they're going to try and do. So, going to really look forward to it, and hopefully we can get nullify that and win the game.
Yeah, I reckon you'll get it done. I just feel like they've played some ripping footy, but they haven't really, the last couple of weeks of the season played a really formidable team, and you guys have shown that you are one of those. So looking forward to that matchup and watching on Friday night. One thing I do want to mention actually before we move on is Johnny Schultz. So Sam Landsberg a couple of weeks ago and Johnny Schultz this week. 2 massive losses, especially to the Western Bulldogs Footy Club. And, I knew Johnny from day one. He was one of those guys that was so loving and caring and obviously a legend of the football club. So just wanted to send our condolences to his family and everyone that knew him. He was a ripping man, and I just remember every time that handshake when you walk into the ground, you would have got a few yourself, and his signature saying was just "Go well, go well,
Go well."
So it was, he's a absolute legend, and he'll be sorely missed, that's for sure.
I agree with you, mate, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to bring it up towards the end, but it's good timing. He is a legend of our footy club. One of the greatest to ever represent the Footscray Footy Club, the Western Bulldogs. And as you mentioned, mate, he's one of the first guys I met when I first walked into the doors for my very first game against Collingwood. He's he was a gentle giant, and as you said, go well was what he always said, and he'd shake your hand at the door, and anyone who came across him had nothing but kind words and great words to say about him. For people who don't obviously know of John Schultz, all you have to do is look up his Wikipedia page, which I've just done, and some of his career highlights, mate. He was a 5-time Charles Sutton medalist, won a Brownlow medal in 1960, All-Australian 1961, played 188 games for the club and represented Victoria 24 times, mate. He had a tremendous career. I know from talking to some of the players that are at our footy club now, we spoke about Johnny the other day when he passed away, about some of the memories and things that he left on for us. And one of my teammates said one time they went around to his joint for dinner, and earlier when he first got drafted, and they were asking, talking to Schultze and just general chit chat, and they asked him about his Brownlow medal, and apparently it took him ages to find his Brownlow medal because it was one of those things where he just didn't really care about that individual stuff. And you fast forward then to the 2016 Premiership, where obviously you were a part of that and you boys won. He was as proud as anybody holding that cup up and getting around you boys with that cup. And it just showed, firstly, how much he wanted to win a Premiership and how much that meant to him. But then secondly, the fact that he was a Western Bulldogs player, a Footscray member, that winning that cup in 2016 meant so much to him and something that he would proudly, obviously ultimately take to his grave. And he's he'll be sorely missed. His family's much loved, and Western Bulldogs great. So some kind words for Johnny.
Absolutely. Now moving on to our game Saturday night against the Blues. Look, really excited about this one too. Like you talk about your matchup with the Hawks. I think, the Blues, you can't really judge their last couple of weeks with anything really. And like I said earlier, it's a finals game. Everything gets thrown out the window and you're playing the best team that's out there. So I feel like that's what's going to come up from down south from Melbourne. And we're preparing for their best. They're going to have a few changes. Obviously, Sam Doherty was announced today that he's playing. So look forward to seeing him out there again. All the other guys that have been injured over the course of the last month or so of the AFL season will most likely come back. So, looking forward to the challenge. I think, hopefully we can get the game on our terms early and really put the pressure on them, because last time, they came up here and beat us in round 0 and got the head start on us in the prelim last year. So we'll be looking to hopefully get some territory early.
Yeah, it's going to be a ripper. There's a lot of not internal. There's a lot of talk here externally about, how excited people are about this, how Carlton might go about it. I've seen a lot of people tip Carlton. Obviously they beat you guys up there in opening round, but with the players that they get back, there's going to be Curnow and Mackay, and obviously you mentioned Sam Doherty. I think De Conning's another one that's names getting floated around. There's some serious good players getting names getting floated up there. It's going to be interesting to see if they do come back, how they are, whether they're, missing 2 to 3 weeks. De Conning has missed 6 to 7 weeks. Whether they're underdone or not. It must be something, firstly, you're preparing for, but secondly, fully expecting them to come with the freedom and kind of a mentality of they've got nothing to lose, because they don't. They literally don't. Obviously, either of your team loses, you're out. So they're going to come with that mindset. You must be ready to relish that challenge.
Yeah, well, that's our mindset too, mate. Like, we got nothing to lose, and we're in a similar position earlier in this season where it was backs against the wall. All we could do was run out there and play together as a team and get a win. So that's what both teams will be doing on Saturday night. I'm sure they've got plenty of energy from all the guys that they're going to be bringing in, but for us, we've got a couple of ins as well, hopefully, and look forward to having a home crowd at the Gabba, hopefully get it rocking and get it going with some points on the board. And I feel like it's just going to be an amazing atmosphere, amazing game, and hopefully we end up on top.
Did you look at any of the opening round just to kind of see anything? But I know that's ages ago, but is there anything you could look at?
Individually, yes. I've looked at a few things that round. As a team, we just sort of talked about their best form this year and what it looked like when, they had a lot of players playing that they hadn't played the last couple of games. So there's definitely little things that they've changed since opening round, and we have too. So we're both very different teams, and it'd just be good to see how we go against each other, because I feel like we do match up well against each other across the field. So it should be a pretty good one.
I reckon it's going to be a ripper, mate. And hopefully we've won and I can be sitting back enjoying watching you do your thing. I'll be barracking as I always do from afar, but wish you all the very best, mate. It's going to be a ripper.
Thanks, mate. All the best to you too. Your little segment, give some love. Let's do that. Let's get into that. So I messaged you earlier. Did you come up with one? I said because there was no AFL. The AFLW season kicked off on the weekend, and I wanted you to find someone that you thought or that you wanted to give some love to. So share your thoughts.
Well, I was going to do someone from obviously my team, the Western Bulldogs. Ali Blackburn has obviously been my favourite player for a long time. I actually played, funny, what a coincidence it is, but she played in the same junior footy league as me. So she used to play maybe 2 or 3 years below me, and I used to watch her play all the time, which is pretty funny how a small world she come full circle. She's now at the Bulldogs. So there's a little bit of love for Ali because she did have a ripping game, albeit we didn't go too well, mate. We lost by 63 points to the Giants, but Ali individually had a great game. The person I'm giving love to is because this is our first time doing it right, and I'm not doing it based off the weekend's games. I'm doing it based off the last, 2 to 3 years of watching AFL women's footy. It is a Gold Coast midfielder, and her brother plays for Sydney, James Rowbottom. So sister's name is Charlie Rowbottom. They didn't win the game on the weekend. So this shows I don't care about, this is me just thinking about the last 12 months. Every time I watched, say I'd put a game on and say it's Gold Coast playing, I watched the Gold Coast playing, I'd always see Charlie Rowbottom laying tackles and winning contested footy. And I just love watching it. And I've gone and checked the Gold Coast game. She's had 11 tackles, which is the most for the game. She's had 26 disposals and just, looked like she played another great game. So I'm giving love to Charlie Rowbottom, not only for this round, but for the whole, last 12 months.
I like it, mate. I like it. I, too, have recognised her a lot over the journey. Mine, because I was watching on the TV on the weekend. It was a bit hot to go out to
it looked hot.
Out to Springfield. But I watched the girls closely, our game, and we too got done by 44 points to North Melbourne. But Tipper and I were watching this young girl, Alice O'Loughlin, for the Kangaroos. She kicked 2 goals and had kicked a point as well, but had 19 touches. And I just thought she looked very dangerous every time the ball was in her hand. So just wanted to give a little shout out to her. And I'm not sure how old she is. It says 22 years old. So obviously young player, young aspiring player that wants to be may very well be one of the best in the comp in a few years' time. So one to look out for.
It's a nice little segue into a bit of AFL women's talk. We probably don't get much of an opportunity because when our season's over, they're obviously well and truly into theirs. I've never asked you. I'm putting you on the spot here, but who's your favourite AFL women's player to watch?
Geez, that's a good question. I think, you talk about Ali Blackburn, those types of players, Katie Brennan, Monique Conti, I feel like it's a good one to watch as well.
Superstar.
I've loved watching Lions girl Belle Dawes. So the way that she's sort of, what do you say? Gone up
trajectory
in terms of her form and trajectory. That was the word I was looking for. So there's a couple, mate. Who have you got?
Well, you can throw in names like Jasmine Garner as well, plays for North. Ash Riddell.
Yep.
I watched that North and Brisbane game, and they both were absolute standouts. But my favourite, and I always say is because I seen her first year at Collingwood. I was there at Collingwood, and she was there obviously as a first year player. And it's Chloe Malloy. So she now plays for Sydney. And I just thoroughly enjoy watching her play. I feel like she always does something special when she's around the footy. She plays a lot forward. I'd love to see her play a full game in the middle because, mate, I just feel like she would absolutely dominate. But I can understand why she goes forward and has the impact that she does up there and that she has up there. Sorry, but I think Chloe Malloy for me. But there's so many. I was thinking the other day. I've watched. I've watched
another one.
Is this 7? If this is AFL 8 or 9, maybe season 9, maybe is it 8, maybe? And I was thinking the other day when I was watching the girls play, and you go back from the very first game to like now, mate, it has just gone, just keeps improving, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like 10 years from now, and then another 10 years after that. I feel like. Yeah, it's just a joy to watch. I thoroughly enjoy sitting there and actually watching the women go about it because they're the elite of the elite.
Yeah, well, you can only tell from what you see firsthand too. Like this year, our girls, and I know that they've gone more to a full-time sort of environment, which is great. But our girls, they're in all the time. Like they're in all the time and just trying to get better. They're asking questions. They're doing things, that they don't have to do, but they're doing it because they care and they want to get better. So it's great to see. And the other one I was going to mention too was Ebony Marinoff from Adelaide Crows. I think she's a gun player. Yeah, and she tackles a lot too, mate. So I like that.
We need to get some player comparisons. We need to get so. Are you going to say Ebony Marinoff is a similar version to Josh Dunkley? Like similar style players?
She's probably better than me, mate.
We need to get player equivalents. I wonder which AFL women's players like me. One that does.
Well, that can be our question this week. That can be our YouTube question this week. Send us in your best comparison for us too. So from AFLW, send us your comparison and the reason why.
Please do, because I'd love to know, because it means I'd watch, as I already watch enough, but I'd watch even more closely to see, and we could give each other some tips, which would be great. I did want to get into, because I don't think we've done this yet, and if we have done this, I'm sorry for asking you again. I'm only going to ask you because, mate, don't worry about don't worry about the final on Friday, mate. It's all about NFL being back. And we are 3 days out from the NFL. We've got the Ravens v. the Chiefs, game 1 on Friday. Then we've got Green Bay versus Philly on the Saturday morning. And then we've got our normal red zone football Monday morning, which I cannot wait for. But I'm going to ask you, because I don't know if I've asked you on the potty. I want to know your Super Bowl prediction and your MVP.
Who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl? Is that what you're asking me?
Yep.
Well, I think we're the same, because we both on that Oz American Aces draft night said the Detroit Lions.
Yep, I'm with you. Detroit
Lions.
So do I. I think Detroit. And who's your MVP?
I'd love to see the MVP not go to a QB. So CMC is an easy one. But if I've got to pick a legit QB, mate, I think I hope Aaron Rodgers comes out and has a really good season, because I think the Jets.
Yeah, they're good.
The Jets, they could be good, and it'd be great to see Rodgers come out and wind back the clock a little bit and have a good year.
Yep. Well,
that's just
I like that
one
too.
For you. That's
good, and I think, as you know, MVPs over in the States are always based off how the team goes, so that automatically puts Jared Goff, probably Amon-Ra St. Brown, if you're thinking outside of the quarterback, into that conversation, because if they're going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to be thereabouts. My MVP is Joe Burrow. So I don't have him winning the Super Bowl, but I have him winning the MVP. I think he's going to individually he obviously had a down year last year. He was injured, firstly, and then secondly, he just wasn't right. I think their offensive line wasn't that good. He got sacked that much. And I think this could be the year that, they get all their shit together on offense in particular, and Jamar Chase has a great year. T. Higgins, that's if he freaking re-signs. We've got him in about 3 fantasy teams, and I know you're stressing. We're stressing because we've got him in our All-American Aces League as our number 1 pick. But he will re-sign, and when he does, he's going to be top 5 player in the league. But Joe Burrow is my MVP pick.
Don't mind it. How do you think the Chiefs are going to go this year after the Super Bowl?
Well, I think everyone says, my feel is they'll be thereabouts again. Everyone's going to say, surely they're going to drop off this year. You're not going to talk about them throughout the regular season, because that's just what we do every year. They'll qualify for the playoffs, and they'll somehow just be thereabouts, and they'll, you don't want to play them in the playoffs. So I don't have them winning the Super Bowl, but I have them finishing thereabouts, whatever that means to you. Like they'll be near. They might win it, they might not win it, but they will be thereabouts. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think they're always going to be thereabouts with Mahomes and Kelsey.
Oh, for sure.
Have you seen Travis Kelsey? Did you see the thing that they sort of did a little post? I can't remember what it was, but it was something along the lines of like the amount of adverts that he's in beats the combined total of any other NFL player added together, adverts across the competition. Have you seen
I didn't see that. Nah, that doesn't surprise me either.
And
I didn't see that.
Did you see that Jason and Travis, their New Heights podcast, this is what we're aspiring to get, mate. A big deal from who was it? The Amazon Prime or whatever it was.
But it was huge, wasn't it?
Massive. Massive. And they're earning more off-field now than what they've ever earned on-field.
On-field. Oh, mate. I mean, if we could get there one day, that'd be pretty cool. Streaming from our bedrooms. I still can't get my technical side of things up and about. It would be unbelievable. But no, I did say that's pretty cool. That is cool. But mate, what was the question from last week? Did you figure it out? For prize, the prize question?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. I don't reckon we did one. Well, no one's really answered on YouTube, so I feel like we've just got to let it slide, and maybe we get next week's one. So your player comparison, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, watch the YouTube, and write down who our best AFLW comparison is and why.
Please do. That's a great one. I really like that one.
We might give out 4 prizes next week.
No, we will. Well, we better bring Brado on then unless you got a curly question for me like you always do, one of those weird things that you do.
I don't, mate. I don't this week.
All good. I'm happy to bring Brado on. Come on, Brado.
I think you may have got me this week because you did set me the task to go and find when you guys were wrong. And I was very much looking forward to pointing out a moment in time where you guys were incorrect. But I've been trying to track it down, and Ads did say he was no chance for All-Australian on repeated occasions. So happy to lose that one. I went back and there was one podcast about the Jets picking up Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, oh, this will stump them. And Ads said that Green Bay won the trade before the season started. So
thank you, Brado. I'm very proud of that one.
There was nothing. Chuck out your lotto numbers. Chuck out the Melbourne Cup winner coming up. Chuck out anything to your fans because I feel like you're on a hot streak. So you can't be wrong. You may as well do some more predictions.
Will do.
Well, I've got one. Who's your Melbourne Cup winner, mate?
Well, it won't be Lordship. Lordship's going for a spell, but it's a bit too early for that. Let me answer that next week for you.
Oh, what prediction have you got for us then?
Josh Dunkley to win the Norm Smith medal if they make the grand final, and if you guys make the grand final, Josh Dunkley will win the Norm Smith medal.
No. That would never happen.
Yes.
Who's all right? Here you go. Actually, here's another one close to home. NRL this year. Who wins the NRL?
I swear by one of my best mates, Casey, who is the biggest NRL fan I've ever met, because I don't have opinion. All I do is watch Storm. I watch Storm, and that's it. Storm are the best team. They obviously won the minor premiership last week. So I'm going Storm. I'm backing my clubhouse boys in, Husey, Money, and Pappy. So I hope so. But if they're not going to win it, as Casey has said, he still thinks the Panthers will be too good. Nathan Cleary will get back from injury, and they're like the Chiefs, mate. They qualify, they play, they just find a way. So I'm going to say Storm, but I'm just going to throw in that Panthers there. Who do you think?
I think Storm. I think Storm's best is the best in the comp. That's my opinion.
Well, as I said, I mainly just watch Storm games, and as I said, if they could play every game at Amy Park, geez Louise, no one's going to beat them.
One before we finish up, did you receive any little gifts in the last few days?
I did, yeah.
From Kimmy. What'd you think, mate? Was it nice?
Yeah, it's right up your alley, mate. Yeah, I loved them. I did. For people who want to know, Josh and Kimmy, I think Josh must have given her the idea. He got me a Versace watch.
No, hang on. I didn't give her the idea. She asked me what kind of watch would Adam like. So I just sent a few ideas back.
Yeah, and I love the watch.
I just sent it. She sent me a picture of 2 at the end that she'd come up with at the shop, and I picked the one you got, and she's like, yep. All right, done.
I love the watch, mate. I was blown away when I got it. Kimmy said it was my birthday present, the All-Australian present, and it could be my Christmas present at the same time. So it's funny because I'm a bit of a snoop, and I seen the day that she brought it right. I didn't know she was getting anything for me, but I seen when we were in the car, you know how your phone connects to the Apple, the Bluetooth thing, Josh Dunkley message come up, and I was like, Josh Dunkley, and I looked at my phone, I was like, he did message me. That's weird. I was like, did Dunks message us? She goes, yeah. I was like, oh, what does he want? And then she goes, I'm not telling you. And I was like, fair enough. And then that was it. I was like, oh, shit. Well, there you go. She's hiding something. So, yeah. And then she came back later that day and gave me the watch, which I still had no idea about. So, I love it, mate. I love it. So thank you for giving her the idea, and I thanked Kim as well.
Nah, that's great. Great present from Kim, and glad I could play my part, mate, as always.
Before you do wrap it up,
All right.
on the hot streak, 7 numbers and a Powerball.
7 numbers and a Powerball. Go.
All right, I'll go.
Pick one, I'll pick one.
All right, my first number is 1,
All right, I'll go 5.
and then I'll go 7.
17.
That would have been my next number. So I'll now go 23.
I'll go 26.
There's one number left. I would have said 9. Sorry, I missed 9. So 9's the other one.
1, 5, 7, 9, 17, 23, 26, and a Powerball. We'll go number 15 for the Powerball.
Beautiful. Can't wait for this to get up and we don't have a ticket.
There'll be thousands of ads and dunks. You'll share a couple of bucks together. The most common number, just so you know, out there, number 17.
Oh, there you go. Love the number 17. Oh, well, thanks, Brado.
Next Powerball.
When is the next Powerball? Thursday.
Next draw, Thursday, 5th of September. So you've got till Thursday to get it up. So that'll be tomorrow
Thursday.
night by the time.
Beautiful. All right. For those listening, get it out there. Get it up and let us know if we've missed out.
Great episode, Adsy. All the best on
Well
the
done,
weekend,
mate.
mate. We'll wrap it
You
up there.
too. All the best, mate.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Brookes Blooms, our major sponsor, our only sponsor that we love and we always talk about and respect. And yeah, if you need your backyard done, make sure you hit her up. But other than that, we're all done. So thank you.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brookes Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brookes Blooms' 3-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.